My next guest recently traded his police badge and returned back to civilian lifestyle after over 3 decades of serving the town of Wareham. Former Wareham Police Chief John Walcek sits down with me to reflect on his career and the principles that guided him. Please join me in welcoming former Wareham Police Chief John Walcek.
My first beat was on May 31st, 1987. I walked on Main Street.
Wow.
And 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. shifts. Yep.
Why do you remember that so well?
I was very proud to be there. I was very honored to be hired by Wareham PD, and it was what I wanted to do, and I knew it was my calling.
What about the job that attracted you?
The fact that I was able to help people, and it was kind of exciting. There was an element of action to it, and that's what I liked.
By the time you retired in 2021, you retired as the Chief of Wareham Police.
I did.
But you served for a very short time.
I served from, I think, about April of 18 to April of 21. I retired in April of 21, and I had been acting chief for 2 years and then made full-time chief. And but I had seen some fundamental shifts in police work. I think everybody has a shelf life in police work, and I think my shelf life had come, and I decided to step aside.
Is it just the nature of the job that has changed that prevents people or makes it less attractive to become a police officer, or there are other contributing factors such as salary, we should say?
I would think that the salary is not as much of an issue as it is with the low status of policing now, or the perceived low status of policing, the defund the police movement, all cops are bad, that sort of stuff that kind of evolved in 2020, and it's now turned a lot of people away. I think that would have ordinarily been interested in the police work, and as a result, I think it's just been a lot tougher to hire people. You know, and many police departments are offering sign-on bonuses and things like that just to get people to join.
You started your career, you said, at the time where being a policeman was an honorable thing, and you kind of retired during a time where wearing the blue uniform, you were considered a traitor.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say that to some people we were considered a traitor, or to some people we were considered bad. I'm glad to say that I was always surrounded by police officers that cared about people, and I know the struggles that they face. And but I definitely came in on a high and left, and the career had changed a little bit. Our lane had changed, our lane had expanded, but we were now perceived as not doing the community good, I guess. Yeah, as a whole, as a profession. Not necessarily in Wareham, but definitely as a profession, I think people looked at us differently. And because of the actions of a few. And that was one thing we always, overwhelming theme at the Academy is always, you know, when you do something, you're representing everybody as a police officer. You know, as they used to say in Los Angeles, our cops come in one color, blue. So, you know, she's wearing the same uniform as I'm wearing, and if she screws up, she makes it, all the cops are bad. Yeah. When it's actually an individual. And as I've always said, the one thing that police departments can never get away from, and that's ever, is they hire human beings. And human beings are flawed, and things can happen. And as long as we hire human beings, we'll always have some problems. There's no way around it.
So when society was coming after men and women in blue, you're all treated or looked at as the enemies, public enemy number one. Did you feel the need to say, no, that's not me, and definitely not this department here, or you just kind of felt time will show what is what?
I think at the end of the day, through police work, we've always had a bit of a target on us, and we're an easy target because we don't respond. But one thing I always used to say is, you'll never, ever, ever get rid of us. You need us. And we'll be here. Through good and through bad, we'll always be here. And on rainy days, sunny days, snowy days, middle of the night, you call us and we're coming to help you. And that's one thing that'll never change. And also never change that sometimes police officers are flawed and make mistakes. And it's even some police officers do things wrong. But at the end of the day, the vast majority are out there because they're caring people, and I see it all the time.
What do you think we can do better in Wareham?
Wareham right now has got a very good police chief, and fundamentally our ideas were the same. Walcek is a very, very good guy, and he's very concerned about the public. What I see about Walter is that he's constantly 24/7 concerned about Wareham, and I absolutely appreciate that. I see the stress that he feels, you know, because I know he legitimately cares, and I think he's doing a great job. As a profession, I think everybody's taken a second, we step back and taken a look at our profession, and see what we can do better and what we can improve upon. And I think that's the theme of the day, but I think Wareham has done a great job at outreach. If
you could speak about the nature of policing, what that means.
Well, I'd say it was, in one word, service. And we were servants to the public. And we were, our service was caring for the public. And part of that caring was enforcing the law to make the quality of life good for the residents of Wareham. And that's what we wanted to see, was that people were able to walk the streets and not be afraid of having any street crime or things like that. Crime's going to happen no matter where you are. But we do the best to prevent it, and we did the best we could so people had a sense of peace here in Wareham, that they could go and close, you know, go to bed at night and not worry that their house was going to get broken into or something like that.
How did you handle or digest the things that you'd see? Because policing also means you meet people at their worst.
We do.
And you take home all that thing with you so we can sleep soundly at home. How did you digest it? How did you recover with all this?
We see some things that are not nice, you know, and I often say police officers see things that probably people shouldn't have to see. But at the bottom line, I always felt like we were doing the best we could to make that situation better. And because of that, it made it easy for me. And I never went home and was late awake nights thinking about things, but I would just know that we did everything we could. And that made it a lot easier. Is
there a moment that really stand out to you, like, wow, like that was incredible during your tenure in Wareham?
I think a lot of situations, and probably some of the most remarkable to me, or ones that I remember the most, were being there when people were at their lowest, you know, at their lowest moment. And, you know, or to see a guy that you arrested and you see him 5 years later and say, hey, thanks for taking that time with me, or something like that. Yeah, that made me feel really good. You know, when
somebody you arrested comes to you and
oh yeah, no, I'd have, you know, we would talk to people that we've arrested and you know, hey, I'm doing well, I have a family, I have a job, I do this.
What characteristics does one need to have to make a great police officer?
I think to be, you know, smart and have common sense, and a sense of caring for people, and a sense of, if you will, bravery to face some of the things we face. And know that we have to meet those challenges. You know, there's nobody behind us, and if somebody's calling for help, we have to make sure it happens.
What's up with the donuts in police?
That's I got to tell you, I absolutely love donuts, and I keep that stereotype going. You know, I would go in the coffee shop and hang my head and say, hey, how about, you know, and the only reason I think that happened is, you know, I don't think teachers drink as much as we do coffee, and they have donuts, but nobody knows that they're, you know, because they're in plain clothes. But we walk in a uniform and all of a sudden it's, hey, look at this guy. Wants to.
I was like, yeah, coming to this country, I'm like, what's going on with an apple with the teacher and a donut
with the police? Yeah, it always has been that way. And, you know, but it's okay. I'm okay. It's an okay stereotype to have.
So what does retirement mean to you?
It just means different set of goals, I guess, now. And I'm doing other work, and I enjoy being back on the fire department as a call fireman. So I enjoy that too.
Nice.
It was something I did for a long time in Wareham, and then when I made sergeant, I gave it up. And then when I retired, they asked me to come back. So I'm taking care of some of their public information stuff, and I respond on calls and things. So I enjoy that.
I thought you would want to be at a beach somewhere reading a book.
Oh, that's nice too, but you know, I couldn't do it. Yeah, that's not my nature, I think. And I spent a lot of time, you know, my patrol career doing double shifts and things, so it's hard to kind of, you know.
I've seen you a couple of times directing traffic on.
Oh, yep, I still do doing that. I still enjoy doing that. Yeah. And I see a lot of people, friends, they wave and, you know, talk and stuff, so it's nice.
Do you have any advice for new officers or those who are still in the force?
Yeah, just care for people. Care for people, and you know what? Do the job that the best, and be serious about it. Be serious about the job, and that's you know, I have the chance to work with a lot of recruits, and I do the applied patrol procedures portion of the academy with them. So I see them, and you know, sometimes I'm able to give my philosophy on policing, but I always tell them, you know, go out and care about people. Don't go out there and do a half-baked job. Go out there and do it right. You know, you go in there and work for 8 hours. And part of that working is not working, because you're really just interacting and talking with people and things like that. And I always found a police officer that can talk to people is far better off.
What are you most proud of yourself?
With regard to my career?
Yeah.
I was proud to always be able to serve. I felt good about that. I felt honored that I was able to do it, because it was so hard to get on the police department. I was thoroughly appreciative that I did get the job.